All right, we have Alex Jones. I mean, it's always fun nowadays to talk Alex Jones, and he has Representative Matt Gaetz. I don't know how to fucking pronounce this guy's last name. He's one of those people where it's Gaetz, and it's like Gaetz. I don't fucking know. Maybe he'll pronounce it. Maybe he'll say it wrong. Who knows? I don't know. But it's InfoWars with Alex Jones.
Well, I understand you're not out in some vendetta after McCabe, but doesn't this all have to come out? I mean, we're hearing there's a lot of even bigger smoking guns that are about to come out.
Oh, yeah.
A bunch of bigger smoking guns.
Hearing
bigger smoking guns. Okay.
We're hearing bigger smoking guns.
I mean, I smoke bigger guns, but it's
and he claimed to have the memo, the Nunez memo, before it came out.
He did.
And he completely made shit up about what was on the memo.
But Nunez showed Alex Jones. Like, that was actually verified before it came out. He showed Alex Jones his... This is the thing. It's like, they're like, this is the memo. This was a guy writing an essay. Like, this was one guy's opinion.
It was 3.5 pages. Nothing substantial from government comes in 3.5 pages.
I can write a bullshit 3 pages of something too.
I've seen standard operating procedures that have, at least 16 pages to them, for one task,
but
there's no doubt about that. This memo is not the last piece of evidence in the story. It's an important gathering of the evidence, and it's a laying out of the evidence, but it certainly doesn't cover all periods of time. And, I can say generally as it relates to the FISA laws, there are original applications for FISA warrants, and then the law requires those FISA warrants to be renewed every night.
Yeah, I get it. It's almost like one claim in itself is not evidence in itself. So it's almost like it's almost like if you're going to do a proper investigation, you're going to use one piece of evidence, but then it needs to be substantiated by multiple different sources, and then you have to investigate those sources and find out their veracity. And so it's almost like they're now saying that because the whole world reacted with a big ol' to this memo, they're going to need to verify these claims, kind of like the FBI.
Well, and the interesting thing is that this came out a couple of days before they released the memo, is what this video comes from. So it makes a lot more sense that they're speculating on things. But the funny thing to me is that if this is not the final thing, and we're going to see bigger smoking guns and all that other shit that they've been talking about, why do you start off with your weakest point? Why?
You don't lead with your weakest point.
No, you
always use force push first.
Yeah.
Man, we're going to come out with something even better later on. Like,
this is not
when we think of it
to be good, is what we're saying.
And this representative wears a fucking pinstripe
suit.
That's
how I approach job interviews. If you give me a second job interview, it's going to be better next time. Trust me.
I promise I'll do better next time.
The next interview is gonna
next one's gonna kill it.
You're just spoilers. It's gonna be weird.
Yeah, never believe a guy when he says, "Oh, I'm sorry, this has never happened to me. I don't know what to tell you."
I don't.
No. Back to Matt Gaetz here.
90 days based on the information collected. And so I think that we've got to have a very broad view of the evidence and the full time period before evaluating what reforms we would make in the Congress to this process to ensure it doesn't happen again. And, you mentioned Mr. McCabe as a central figure. And so
if you guys would not be leaking classified information, you wouldn't need to go back and, we might want to change this thing around. I'm not against, stuff reaching the light of day being declassified the proper way. However, this was a hyper partisan thing that happened.
Super. And it should also not go without mentioning that during the course of this memo being having been written and being shown around to select people, they also just voted to just re-up all of the FISA laws.
Yeah,
without
all of the warrantless wiretapping.
You had the opportunity. You had the opportunity to get rid of them or change them, but you didn't.
It's not about changing them, though. That's not the point. The
no, they
point
still
is
love
to
that Patriot
undermine.
Act. So
yeah, they want that. What they want to do is undermine any criticisms of the president. They want to
Is
put
that
him
what they're
above
trying
law.
to do? It's almost like they're not very good at this.
Wait, we can
I think it's working though. That's what scares me.
Unfortunately, yeah.
I think it's fucking working.
stupidly and in slow motion. That's the
It
worst
doesn't
part about
matter
it.
that people like us sit here and see it. It doesn't matter that the Washington Post is fucking calling it out. It doesn't matter.
It doesn't
because
matter.
It's fucking working.
It doesn't matter how many phone calls to elected officials I've made. It doesn't matter how many faxes I've sent out to elected officials. It doesn't matter one fucking iota any of these people around here.
Here's what's going to matter, and this is true. You get out the fucking vote.
Yeah.
You get out the vote. We change the Senate and the House. We flip them blue. It will start to fucking matter. But the thing is that there is no amount of calls to representatives. Don't stop calling on certain things because they can still be moved on specific issues. But we cannot change the corruption on this. We have to get out the vote in 2018. Go fucking door knock, phone call, fucking fundraise, do all the shit. Do as little or as much as you can, but do not tell me that you did not have time to vote unless you're one of those people that are disenfranchised by bad voting laws. That's a completely different subject. But if you can, get the fuck out there. Take a weekend. Take a weekday if you have weekdays off and go make fucking phone calls. You can change this shit. We can flip it. The groundwork does work. You have to put in the effort, though. I know I'm doing it. I've already signed up for door knocking with a local representative in my area because I know that I can't change state runs right now. What we have to do is start on the local level, and that's what I'm doing. And I'm fucking working on it. Yep. You have to get it out. You have to get out there. It will work.
Don't vote for conspiracy theorists.
Oh, and fuck your purity tests.
Yeah.
Fuck your purity test.
You can vote lesser of two evils, you idiots.
Yeah, you fucking better.
All right, back to Mr. Gaetz here.
So much of what went on that has come out by looking at the text messages of Peter Strzok and Lisa Page, and
not private. They were done on government issued devices, which is stupid of them. However,
they were clearly jokes.
You can't.
There were clearly jokes, and it's just communication between two people.
I'm sure if the NSA, the NSA already has copies of everything we've said, I'm sure. But the thing is, like, if they were to bring this up in Congress, they would be like, and apparently on this day you said, let me see, I quote here, I want to get laid and have some beer. What does that mean exactly? It's like, well, if you take things out of context.
Well, Senator, it means that I was hoping that someone would stick a penis in my vagina, or that a woman would lick my clitoris.
And then there would be
whilst I had a frosty beverage. Yes.
And there was a beer nearby. Like afterward, I wanted there to be beer.
After. Or it could be before. I wasn't really set on it. There was not before. Really a standard order of operations here, but what we're saying is
what I'm saying is I wanted sexual intercourse resulting in an orgasm at some point. Oh my God, you guys! I hope we're never called Scott to testify in front of Congress because it's gonna be a fucking shit show. Wait, no, I hope that happens. I hope that fucking happens. Oh my God! Oh my God! I would love to in detail explain.
Now it says here, Mr. X, it says here that you partook one time in the process of giving someone a Roman face mask. Can you please tell everybody here and, listening on C-SPAN exactly what a Roman face mask is?
I'm going to need a whiteboard. Can I get a whiteboard, please?
Senator McConnell, I would like to think that you already know what that terminology is. Lindsay, would you like to demonstrate with me?
Oh, no one ever call the Outcasts to Congress. Because we will have lawyers with us and we will be entirely and completely literal in explaining our joke.
Well, the funny thing is, like, the most common thing you're going to hear from the huddle with our lawyers is like, oh, come on. Really? I can't.
How much?
What I meant was,
How many times in my life am I going to get this opportunity?
So, how bad is contempt, really?
and
Really?
let me tell you
Okay,
about
I
the
can deal with that.
access to contraceptives. And oh my God, one more time, one of you fuckers wants to get into my uterus.
I just
Sorry,
Get-
a little young.
Well, I was going to say they
Oh.
probably shouldn't want to get inside your uterus. That would be
They want
painful.
to.
that would be yeah. Well, I mean, they would have to be able to reach first.
Alicia, shush. That's not the time of I am in front of them now. I am talking about my uterus. I am not
We're
gonna
called,
get
like,
the opportunity again.
conspiracy theorists because we see this cabal right in front of us. We're able to aggregate these data points and
Why is
show
it always a
what was
cabal?
really going on. The reality is we're just looking at the very messages that the people that were at the center of the Hillary Clinton investigation and the center of Robert Mueller's investigation were saying to one another. I mean, that seems
First of all, don't use a fucking
Oh.
laptop mic. God, I hate that sound.
Yeah.
Ugh. I'm such a...
Skinny.
And Alex is going to say something in a second, but if you didn't catch what was just being said there, is that it's not a conspiracy theory because we actually have the actual texts from these people. It's like
Oh yeah.
You're right.
There
There
were
was a
actual
couple.
secret
texts.
your secret
Look,
society
if you're
text
gonna make
that-
it, if you're gonna make it this big a fucking deal,
I'm just-
well, release the
I'm
text.
just saying, I'm gonna have a secret society. We're not calling it a secret society.
Right.
No, we're going to be... I'm going to straight up just rob the Simpsons and we're going to be the Stonecutters. That's what it's going to
Yeah.
be. It's like,
I mean, really, the first rule of secret societies, you don't talk about the secret society.
ooh, we call it Fight
Well,
Club. That's what we
That's
do.
kind
We're
of,
calling it
that's
Fight Club.
kind of.
We talk about our feelings.
But it, yeah.
It's an ironic name.
That's actually great. Oh my God, I would love it. It's a support group called Fight Club. That's
We
great.
have tea, scones, and then we talk about our feelings.
Yeah.
And then we do impressionist art. That's what we're going to do. Yeah. All right, back to this shit.
to be an entirely reasonable review of the facts to look at the communications between people who had central roles in the investigation. And I don't think there's any dispute that there was extreme bias, but not only bias in their minds, in their actions, in their planning, in the things that they were doing. And it's one of the reasons why I filed legislation today to get this memo released. I was joined by 35 of my Republican colleagues.
Ooh,
and also
that's
this
such a big
evening, I'll be
number.
taking the floor of the Congress with over a dozen members, each giving their own voice to this movement to get this memo released so that we can have a debate and discussion in the public about its contents.
Hindsight is fucking delicious on this one. They're like, we're going to get this out there and it's going to mean so much to everybody. It's like,
It doesn't.
after reading
It
it,
really
A
doesn't.
guy wrote a thing.
Rachel Maddow had the best reaction to the whole thing where she's like, this is it?
Yeah.
You guys got mad at me for doing that whole I have 2 pages of Trump's tax return thing. And you guys, for like 2
killed
weeks,
it.
are doing this lead up to this is the most important thing that's coming out, and this is it?
Yeah.
It's the
Like,
exact same thing we've been. I remember reading it, going, "This can't be all. This is the exact same things we've been hearing.
Yeah.
There is
We-
literally nothing new here.
we knew this. Like, he was
We
under
already knew about the text
FISA warrant
messages.
before
We already
he
knew-
was.
Yeah.
We already knew that they didn't like the Steele dossier. We already knew this.
Yeah.
We already knew that the Steele dossier confirmed some things, but it's not. We already knew it was 100% accurate, but it was pretty accurate. Like, we already knew all
Yeah.
that. Like, I'm confused. That's why I kept like sending you guys. I'm like, I don't understand. Like,
No,
am I missing
it was,
something?
and the only reason there was any like serious uproar about its release is the fact that they wouldn't show it to anybody. They wouldn't let it be vetted by the Department of Justice or the FBI.
The Department of Justice came out and said it's nonsense.
And the FBI
It's-
was saying, please redact the certain stuff in here because you shouldn't be telling everybody how we get this classified information.
Ugh.
And apparently the one that was released to the public was the one that Nunez made some grammatical changes to as well. without making it go back through the committee that he's supposed to as well.
Wow.
Yeah, so intact documents, that seems to be a big thing with the government. You have chain of custody on a lot of things, and if you send something out and change it after the last thing,
it doesn't.
I work in legal documents. Like
you can't just change.
Ours is just like civil side, like right. It's not even like
national defense,
law breaking, like national defense stuff. Like we don't send. My company doesn't send anything to a client. I mean, we can, but we don't like to send anything to a client that doesn't track changes because that's good for us. No wonder the government has accountability in that. It just doesn't make sense.
Insane levels of accountability.
Yeah, my company has vested interest in making sure that all changes are documented, and that's just because it makes sense.
Yeah. God. This Matt Gaetz guy is just one of the worst. Oh, wait, isn't he the guy that was, he's gotten in some sort of scandal recently. I can't remember. We talked about him recently, and I don't remember exactly what it is that we were talking to him about.
I don't remember either.
This isn't the Navy SEAL guy that was doing the sex basement thing, was it?
I don't think so.
I'm going to look this up real quick because he had some sort of scandal that was going on, I think. God, I don't remember what it is. Oh, this is the guy that had the problem with the Immaculate Conception thing, that he didn't know he thought that this Nunez memo thing was like, and he was saying that oh god damn it, he was talking to Chris Cuomo on CNN about how the conspiracy was happening with this memo and all of he said, having Mueller being made the special investigator in this thing, it's just like, it's a neat coincidence like the Immaculate Conception. And Chris Cuomo's like, what do you mean by that? And he's like, well, that a child could be born of a virgin in a marriage. And it's like, I don't think you understand what the Immaculate Conception was. That has to do with Mary's birth. It has nothing to do with Jesus's birth. And he's like, well, I'm not going to state my religious views on a TV network. And it's just like, yeah, that's who this fucker is. That's right. I forgot about him.